ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति च वदन्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुक्तापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगण रघुनाथामितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमामि विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी मुचारिणे विशेष विनोदी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। So welcome everyone to IBC Siksha. We are continuing from where we had stopped, and we had stopped. Um,
Completed 15 chapters.
yes, we just completed 15th chapter, and we'll start with 16th chapter. Okay. So in the 15th chapter, we read about the inverted tree that we are living in, or the Vedas, and doing Artha Kama Moksha, Dharma Artha Kama Moksha, right? And enjoying various fruits on various branches of that tree. Okay, and then we have to get out of it. Why? Because our real place is not in that tree. Our real place is in spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan. So for that, we have to become free from prestige, free from envy, and surrender unto the Supreme Lord in devotional service, in humility. So, what is then in the 16th chapter then? In the 16th chapter, the divine qualities are explained by which one can elevate one onto the tree and lead ultimately to liberation. And then there are demoniac qualities and mentalities which drive one lower onto the tree and ultimately to the hell. So if we go to our tree diagram, when we develop more mode of goodness, we reach to the root of the tree, to Brahma's planet, and from there we can reach the spiritual world. Okay, and when we inculcate demonic qualities, mode of passion, ignorance, we go into lower species, and we remain jumping from one branch to another, trying to enjoy the Vedic way, this tree, material tree. Okay, so 16th chapter is about the divine and demoniac qualities. So first 3 verses, Krishna gives list of divine qualities that helps in elevating. Okay, he lists how many? Almost 26 qualities he lists that will help to increase mode of goodness and reach the higher realm of Brahma. And then in the fourth, he talks about the 6 qualities: pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, ignorance. That that takes us down into the tree and keeps us entangled over there. Okay, so we'll go by the list of 26, but I think we should read that. It's a very big purport and it's better to read it even if it takes time, because there is a lot of things that Prabhupada says and it's good to read. So, the Supreme Personal Godhead said fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self control, performance of sacrifice, study of Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, freedom from envy, and from passion for honor. These are transcendental qualities. They belong to the godly men endowed with divine nature. In the beginning of the 15th chapter, the banyan tree of this world was explained. The extra roots coming out of it were compared to the activities of the living entities, some auspicious and inauspicious. In the ninth chapter, also, the devas of the godly or the asuras, the ungodly or the demons were explained. Now, according to the Vedic rites, activities in the mode of goodness are considered auspicious for progress to path of liberation, and such activities are known as Daiva Prakriti, transcendental by nature. Those who are situated in transcendental nature make progress onto the path of liberation. For those who are acting in mode of passion and ignorance, on the other hand, there is no possibility of liberation. Either they will remain in this material world as human beings, or they will descend among the species of animals or even lower life forms. In the 16th chapter, the Lord explains both the transcendental nature and its attendant qualities, and the demonic nature and its qualities. He also explains advantages and disadvantages of these qualities. Okay. Um, so we'll get into each of them. So somebody start reading the word abhijatasya.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, someone, one of them.
Continue, Mataji. Okay. The word Abhijatasya, in reference to one born of a transcendental qualities or godly tendencies, is very significant. To beget a child in a godly atmosphere is known in the Vedic scriptures as Garbhadhana Samskara. If the parents want a child in the godly qualities, they should follow the 10 principles recommended for the social life of the human being. In Bhagavad Gita, we have studied also before that sex life for begetting a good child is Krishna himself. Sex life is not condemned, provided the process is used in Krishna consciousness. Those who are in Krishna consciousness at least should not beget children like cats and dogs, but should beget them so that they may become Krishna conscious after birth. That should be the advantage of children born of a father and mother absorbed in Krishna consciousness.
Yes.
The
So
social
we discussed about this Garbhadan Sanskar, and I told you the story of Prahlad Maharaj, how even though Hiranyakashipu was not a devotee, but such a great devotee was born to him because he did Garbhadan Sanskar, and that means that while that his consciousness was always thinking about Narayan, and therefore he got a son who is devoted to Narayan. So in our Krishna conscious movement, Garbhadan Sanskar is very much stressed. And Prabhupada writes here also about Garbhadan Sanskar. And Prabhupada said that before the husband and wife unite to have a child, they should chant at least, both of them should chant at least 50 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay, this is what Prabhupada recommended. And then Garbhadan Sanskar in the Vedic literature has its own set of steps and rules, regulations, and prayers mentioned in the Garbhadan Sanskar. One can access that also. But in today's time, we may not know the details and we may find it very difficult also. So the best is to chant the holy name of Krishna, minimum 50 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay. Then the child that comes is having devotional inclinations. Inclinations. So that is good for the society. Any question on this?
no Prabhuji.
Okay. So how will you encourage young couple, say your own children, say, someone you know, how will you encourage them about this Garbhadan Sanskar?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we can tell them that by following all I mean, there are actually total 10, no Prabhuji. This is the first step. So if they undergo this samskar, then they will have a Krishna conscious child. Uh,
Yeah,
I
how?
mean,
How will you say them to do what? What will you tell them to do? If they are devotees, then we can tell them 50 rounds is what Prabhupada said. But if they are, somewhat pious people, what will you tell them? You can tell them about Garbhadan
Intelligent.
Sanskar. Yeah, tell me, Mataji.
Krishna conscious.
Uh, uh,
Yeah?
We can tell them that their children will be born in sattvic mode.
Yes. Just like there
Like
is
they'll have,
sattvic food, right? You can have a
yes, Prabhu.
child with more sattvic qualities.
Yes,
That's how
sattvic
you need to
child.
start tell. Because today, a lot of people understand about sattvic, mode of
Yes, Prabhu.
goodness, sattvic. So when they can connect it with food, you can say you can connect it with your child also. And then you can
Yes,
say
yes.
you can chant Hare Krishna. One
Yes,
round,
Prabhuji.
two round. Then you can hear Bhagavad Gita every day, one chapter.
And Bhagavatam also one
And
story,
Bhagavatam. And
Krishna
some
Leela.
are attracted to Ramayana also. And in
Yes,
Ramayana it
Prabhu.
is said also. Um, in Ramayana it is said also that after reading Ramayana and all, there are some fruits you get. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita. Like my sister, we read the whole Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters when she was pregnant. So things
Okay.
can be done before sattvic qualities can be increased, during and afterwards also. When the child is in the womb, that time also uh, you can
Follow
read.
all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
reading scriptures and
Reading scriptures,
chanting.
hearing Hare Krishna mantras, Ramayana, like that. And
Hearing
the
kirtans.
mother likes to do all this. So that will be good. And then after they are born, then again you can bring them to temple and all that. So this samskara is before, during, and after also. From womb to tomb, till the end of life, you can give samskara. Samskara means impressions. And the good impressions we give, they develop such karmas which will help us to advance in spiritual life. Okay.
Yes, Babaji.
Yeah, someone else read the next paragraph.
From the social institution, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. The social institution known as Varnashrama Dharma, the institution dividing society into four divisions of social life and four occupational divisions or castes. It is not meant to divide human society according to birth. Such divisions are in terms of educational qualifications. They are to keep the society in a state of peace and prosperity. The qualities mentioned here are explained as transcendental qualities meant for making a person progress in spiritual understanding so that he can get liberated from the material world.
Continue.
In the
Continue.
Varna, oh, okay. Shall I stop,
Continue.
probably?
No, continue.
Okay. In the Varnashrama institution, the sannyasi or the person in the renounced order of life is considered to be the head or the spiritual master of all the social statuses and orders. A Brahmana is considered to be the spiritual master of the three sections of a society, namely the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, and the Shudras. But a sannyasi who is on the top of the institution is considered to be the spiritual master of the Brahmanas also. For a sannyasi, the first qualification should be fearlessness. Because a sannyasi has to be alone without any support or guarantee of support. He has simply to depend on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If one thinks after I leave my connections, who will protect me? He should not accept the renounced daughter of life.
Yeah,
One
wait,
must be
wait,
fully.
wait. So, Varnashram system, the sannyasi is the highest respected personality, and the sannyasi is unbiased, and and the goal of a sannyasi is only spiritual life. So they are not so much interested in material life. Actually, they have zero interest. In today's world, we don't find such sannyasis. They are into material life and this social welfare work and all that. Okay, so they are cheating actually. Whereas a sannyasi is one who thinks I Krishna will always protect me. He always thinks like that, and he lives like that. He is not dependent on others. But today's so-called spiritualists, they take sannyas and then they create their spiritual organization, and they earn a lot of money, tremendous amount of money they earn, thousands of crores. But here Prabhupada says, what is the meaning of real sannyasi? Continue. One must fully convince.
One must thus have firm conviction that Krishna as Paramatma will take care of a soul surrendered to him. I shall never be alone, one should think. Even if I live in the darkest regions of a forest, I shall be accompanied by Krishna, and he will give me all protection. That conviction is called abhayam, fearlessness. This state of mind is necessary for a person in the renounced order of life.
Yeah. So
Then
can you give me example of a sannyasi who was abhayam, fearless?
Srila Prabhupada Prabhuji.
How? How
He
he is
was
abhayam?
he was not at all scared of anything.
How?
Um,
Give me
uh,
example.
he when he went to USA at the age of 69 years, he did not have anything. He neither had a good financial backup or
Yeah,
a place to live, and nothing he had. But still, he ventured on his own, just keeping Krishna in the mind.
right. And he never lived for like for richness. He lived wherever his disciples gave him a place, whether it be a
Yes.
rich thing or it be a small hut in Bhubaneswar or it be a big palace in Detroit. He didn't care for all those things. So he was Abhayam. So Prabhupada himself is a very great example. And Prabhupada
Yes,
points
Prabhuji.
out another example in the next paragraph. Read.
Then he has to purify his existence. There are so many rules and regulations to be followed in the renounced order of life. Most important of all, a sannyasi is strictly forbidden to have any intimate relationship with a woman. He is even forbidden to talk with a woman in a secluded place. Lord Chaitanya was an ideal sannyasi, and when he was at Puri, his feminine devotees could not even come near to offer their respects. They were advised to bow down from a distant place. This is not a sign of hatred for women as a class, but it is a stricture imposed on the sannyasi not to have close connections with women.
Yeah. Can you tell me what like what do you think about this rule? A sannyasi should not go near women. How will you explain this to today's somebody who may ask you why there are such things?
Prabhuji, it might be because usually they say no familiarity breeds love, or maybe they'll get attracted to them, and it might disturb their spiritual sadhana. So and yeah, maybe
What is
because
the
of that.
strongest way to explain this? What is the strongest way? You don't need any more explanation if you tell that one line. Even they will understand. Even an atheist will
Maybe.
understand.
Mm.
A woman are considered to be Mataji mother, Prabhuji. So that is a strong.
No, no. It's something you have to prove.
It affects the purity.
So what you have to tell is you have to just say the examples.
Sense
There are so
gratification,
many
Prabhuji.
examples of fallen sannyasis.
Shwamitra.
No, not Vishwamitra. Somebody will say, I never followed Vishwamitra thousands of years ago. You have to just say a
Mm.
few names from last few years. That's it.
Last few years.
Yeah.
Oh,
Every year
Some,
one,
Nitya,
every
some
year one
Nityananda Prabhu, I
spiritualist.
heard
Nityananda.
Prabhuji.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nityananda
it's okay,
Prabhu.
it's okay, it's okay. What I'm saying is, every year some so-called spiritualist falls down because they either abused a woman, a child, or old people. Right?
Yes,
Yes or
Prabhuji.
no?
Yes.
Anywhere from north of India to south to east to west, we always get these examples. Even outside of India.
sannyasi getting attracted to women and
No, they didn't follow the rules. No. So just by
mm,
giving those examples, it is enough to explain anybody. Right?
mm.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
it.
Prabhuji.
You don't have to explain so much detail. Just say a few examples and they will also understand. Okay, one has to follow rules and regulations of a particular status of life in order to purify his existence. For a sannyasi, intimate relation with women and possessions of wealth for sense gratification are strictly forbidden. The ideal sannyasi was Lord Chaitanya himself. We can learn from his life that he was very strict in regards to women. Although he considered to be the most liberal incarnation of Godhead, accepting the most fallen conditioned souls, he strictly followed the rules and regulations of the sannyas order of life in connection with the association with women. One of his personal associates, namely Chota Haridas, was associated with Lord Chaitanya, although with his other confidential personal associates. But somehow or the other, this Chota Haridas looked lustfully on a young woman, and Lord Chaitanya was so strict that he at once rejected him from the society of his personal associates. Lord Chaitanya said for a sannyasi or anyone who is aspiring to get out of the clutches of material nature and trying to elevate himself to the spiritual nature and go back home, back to Godhead, for him looking towards material position and women for sense gratification, not even enjoying them, but just looking towards them with such a propensity is so condemned that he had better commit suicide before experiencing such illicit desire. This is Lord Chaitanya, okay? Very, very strict. Okay. So where is association of women allowed? Is it allowed or is not allowed at all? Where it is allowed?
Grahastha Prabhu.
Yeah, only in married life. Only in married life. See, when we talk about association of women and all that, it means the opposite also. It means association of men also for women. Okay? They also should not unrestrictedly associate with other men other than their husband. Right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Someone else read this thing. The next item is someone?
shall I read again?
Yeah. No one then you.
The next item, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The next item is charity.
No,
Charity
no,
is
not
meant
charity.
for
This
the
one. The next item is Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti.
oh, the next item is Jnana Yoga Vyavas, Vyavas,
Vyavas.
Vyavastiti.
Ah.
Vyavastiti, na?
Hmm.
Being engaged in the cultivation of knowledge. Sannyasi life is meant for distributing knowledge to the householders and others who have forgotten their real life of spiritual advancement. A sannyasi is supposed to beg from door to door for his livelihood, but this does not mean that he is a beggar. Humility is also one of the qualifications of a transcendentally situated person. And out of sheer humility, the sannyasi goes from door to door, not exactly for the purpose of begging, but to see the householders and awaken them to Krishna consciousness. This is the duty of a sannyasi. If he is actually advanced and so ordered by his spiritual master, he should preach Krishna consciousness with logic and understanding, and if one is not so advanced, he should not accept the renounced order of life. But even if one has accepted the renounced order of life, Without sufficient knowledge, he should engage himself fully in hearing from a bona fide spiritual master to cultivate knowledge. A sannyasi or one in the renowned order of life must be situated in fearlessness, sattva samsuddhi, purity, and jnana yoga knowledge.
Yeah. So from here we can understand what a real spiritualist is, right? And we can we can identify someone who is a spiritualist or not. The next item is charity. Charity is meant for householders. This householder should earn a living livelihood for honorable means and spend 50% of income to propagate Krishna consciousness. So it is at most 50%. Thus, a householder should give in charity to institutional societies that are engaged in that way. Charity should be given to the right receiver. There are different kinds of charity as explained in the later on, that is in 17th chapter. Charity in mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. Charity in mode of goodness is recommended by the scripture, but charity in mode of passion, ignorance is not recommended because it is simply waste of time. Charity should be given only to propagate Krishna consciousness all over the world. That is charity in mode of goodness. Shastradhan for the Brahmanas, that charity is the best. Even for poor people, giving them prasada is also very good. Then, as far as Dhamma, self control, is concerned, it is not only meant for other religious society, but is especially meant for householders. Although he has a wife, a householder should not use his senses for sex life unnecessarily. There is restriction for householders even in sex life, which should only be engaged in the propagation of children. If he does not require children, then he should not enjoy sex life with his wife. Modern society enjoys sex life with contraceptive methods or more abominable methods to avoid the responsibility of children. This is not in transcendental quality, but it is demoniac. If anyone, even if he is a householder, wants to make progress in spiritual life, he must control his sex life and should not beget a child without the purpose of serving Krishna. If he is able to beget a child who will be in Krishna consciousness, one should produce hundreds of children. But without this capacity, one should not indulge only for sense pleasure. There are various contraceptive methods and abominable methods to avoid children, right, in the today's world. One of my friends said that in his family there was a couple. There is a couple who got an opportunity to go to travel to out of India for job purposes. So at that point, his wife was pregnant, but then his wife wouldn't be accompanied if she gives birth because it will be like 9 months and plus 3 4 months, so he alone has to go. So that time they decided, let's abort the child, and they aborted the child. And after aborting, when they went and all that, and now they are trying to have child, it is very difficult to have conceive. They are not having child, and they're running here and there to doctor, to this baba, that baba, you know doing all these things. So this is the thing, that abominable activities, their result is also, karma is also very difficult to, you know um, it's a terrible karma that comes. So there are some details in this, but one should avoid it. Sacrifice is another item. So sacrifice is another item. First, previously there used to be Agnihotra sacrifices, which were very expensive, and it is not possible today. What is the best sacrifice today? The Hare Krishna
Nama
Mahamantra, the Sankirtan
Sankirtana, Nama
Yajna.
Sankirtana.
Yeah, Nama Sankirtan. The chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare is the best and most inexpensive sacrifice. Everyone can adopt it and derive it. It is so simple that people think it is cheap and people think it is ineffective. But no, it is not like that. This sacrifice is very, very powerful. Then Swadhyay. Swadhyay Vedic studies meant for brahmachari, student life. Brahmachari should have no connection with women. This is a very strict thing. Brahmachari should have no connection. They should live a life of celibacy, engage the mind in study of Vedic culture, and for cultivation of spiritual knowledge. This is called Swadhyay. And at the age of like 20 to 25, then they leave that Vedic study and according to their propensity, most of them get married. This is how the brahmachari system used to be, from the age of 7 or 8 till the age of 20, 25. They used to study Vedic studies, material studies, everything. And then 20, 21, they used to get married. Okay. This was how brahmacharis were there. It's a very big purport. But it's very interesting. There's so many details Prabhupada says, right? Tapas, austerity. So austerity meant for householders how? We have to go through this brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha, sannyas. And Prabhupada gives a formula. 25 years in brahmachari, 25 years in householder, 25 years in retired life, 25 years in renounced life. Okay? You can note down this formula. These are the regulation principles. A man retired in householder life must practice austerity of body, mind, and tongue. This is tapasya. So, retired life is not a life of enjoyment, it is a life of tapasya. See, from Vedic perspective, retired life is a life of tapasya, where body, mind, tongue, their enjoyment is reduced. But today, retired life means enjoy, which is opposite to that. If we enjoy, then when death comes, we won't be able to, remember Krishna. So therefore, there should be some tapasya. Without tapasya, no human being can get liberation. The theory is that there is no need of. So some say, there is no need of tapasya, no need of austerity. We can just go speculating. It is not supported in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, this is just show bottle spiritualists who want more people. So they tell, oh, okay, there's no rules, no regulations. But Vedas are full of rules and regulations. Any questions?
No, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Yeah.
As far as the Brahmanical quality of simplicity is concerned, one should be of a particular order of. So one should, follow his ashram, grahastha ashram, vanaprastha ashram, sannyas ashram, and be very simple and straightforward. Ahimsa. Ahimsa means necessary violence and not arresting the progressive life of living entity, especially animals. If we kill them, then that animal will have to come in his next life, because we have stopped his progression from animal life to human life. If we kill it, then if an animal staying in a particular body for so many days or so many years is untimely killed, we untimely kill it, and then he has to come back again in that form of life to complete the remaining days in order to be promoted to another species of life. Yeah. So that's how we should check that. Satyam. Satyam means do not distort truth, even if it is unpalatable. And learn it from the bona fide spiritual master. That is the process of learning. Akrodha. Akrodha means anger. It comes out of lust and mode of passion. Apaishuna, meaning one should not find fault with others or correct them unnecessarily. Re means one should be very modest and must not perform some act which is abominable. Achapalam is determination. One should be determined in failure, success, and continuous spiritual life. Even in material life, you have to be determined. What to speak of spiritual life then? The word Tejas is meant for Kshatriyas. The Kshatriyas should always be strong, and they should give the protection. They should punish. Only in very rare conditions for minor offenses they should forgive. Otherwise, they should punish. And they should not pose themselves as non-violent. So we should not have fighters who are non-violent. Okay, fighters means they should be violent. Violent according to the dharma, according to the rules, regulations, like that. Saucham. Saucham means cleanliness in one's dealing. One should not deal in black market. Nati manita. Not expecting honor. The Shudras, they should not expect honor. Okay? They should not become puffed up. They should remain in their status. It is the duty of the Shudra to offer respects to higher class for the upkeep of the society. Now, if I ask you what it is the duty of the Shudras to offer respect to the higher class for the upkeep of the social order. But today the so-called Shudra movement and all that, they are against of this line. How will you explain them? How will you explain them that should not expect honor? They should not be puffed up. Any thoughts?
Because we can tell them that it is their I mean, it is compulsory, it is necessary for them to, um, because they have to render service, so they should respect those who are employing them. We can tell them like that, Prabhuji.
Okay, that is
They
one
should
way.
remain in their own status.
That is one way. But what is the problem? Like, what is the problem, historical problem that has been faced by the so-called Shudra community?
Because everybody, because they render service, most of them have started treating them like backward and lower strata, and they don't respect them. That's why maybe they feel that they also don't need to respect others.
Sudras also nowadays they go to colleges, get a good education. Then they also expect the same status as the Brahmanas.
Then why the Vedic injunction is that Shudra should offer respect to everybody and not expect honor?
Their dharma is to render service, Prabhuji. That's why
So one may say,
submissively,
because of this injunction, there is
submissively.
injustice done to them, and they were tortured. They were. So therefore, we should not follow this injunction. Then how will you convince people that okay, we should still follow this injunction?
We can tell them that in Kali Yuga all are Shudras only, so we must respect each other.
Okay, in the Vedic times, then. So the thing is, we have to turn the line. It is the duty of the Shudras to offer respect to higher class. Then what is the duty of the higher class?
To take care of them, Prabhu.
How to take care of them?
By providing them all the basic things and treating them well, like
How? What is the exact word that you will use? How is the best thing to take care of them?
to take care
Give
of
them
them
service.
lovingly.
Okay, even better. In one word, you can say it encompasses everything. How did
Protect
Lord
them as
Ram?
father, protect them
Yes,
as father.
yes, yes. So, in the duties of the Brahmanas and the duty of the Kshatriya is that they should give protection to all the citizens as a father gives to a child. Now, when you are setting up this relationship for the higher class, then the lower class can easily give respect, right? But if the higher class itself is not following, then what is the point of the lower class in following their instruction, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So so the so the point is that if anybody is saying, oh, this injunction should not follow, that, well, the point is that there are injunctions for the higher order of the classes also, for the Brahmanas and the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas. They also have instructions. If that all is followed, then the Shudras instructions are to be followed. But if they don't follow and you just say Shudras are to be followed, then that is not acceptable. That is the argument. That it is a
Yes,
system. It is a system of harmony. It's a system of harmony. So this is how, in the Vedas, the Varna Ashrama system, the Varna system is explained. Um, Actually, there are very nice pictures. Let me check. Um, there's a very nice pictures. Let's see. Actually, Varnas. Okay, okay. I'm not able to find that picture, but the Varna system is compared to a body, human body.
The upper part is Brahmana.
No, I cannot draw it in this, but the head is the Brahman,
Mm.
hands
Kshatriyas.
Kshatriya, stomach Vaishyas, legs
Legs Shudras.
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 Okay, now if the human body works perfectly, if all of this is working right, if they are working in harmony, then the human body is happy, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
Yes.
this is what the Varna system is, that each one should follow its rules in such a way that they should think that we are part of the same system. We are not separate people, we are part of the same system. The head should not think I am the head, so I can kick the leg. No, the head to work properly, the legs also should be properly worked. Hmm? And everyone should give the stomach, then the stomach can provide the energy. But who will provide the direction? Brahmana will provide the direction. Who will protect? Who will do the work? Kshatriya will do the work. Hmm? Who will digest? Vaishyas will digest. And who will go here and there? The Shudras. This is how the
Shudras.
system is. So when we understand that actually it is a human body where all the things have to work in harmony and unison, right? Then there is no discrimination. Do we discriminate our legs? If we get pain in the leg, do we discriminate it? We say, okay, fine, I will not go to doctor. No, right? We will go to doctor even if the pain is in the leg. Right? Yes or
Yes.
Yes,
no?
Prabhu.
So
Yes,
that's
yes, Prabhu.
how the Shudras were taken care. As it that it is part of the same system. And then there is harmony, respect, trust. And then Shudra automatically won't ask for respect. But they will be given respect by the Brahmanas, Kshatriya, Vaishyas. They will be given respect. Because the Brahmanas will be acting according to their qualities. The Kshatriyas will be acting according to their qualities. Right? So it's a system of harmony and unison. Okay, it's not a system of division. It's actually a system of harmony. So when we understand this, then we can appreciate the Varna system, the caste system. Okay. So now we'll go into the demonic qualities. When we read the demonic qualities, we should remember Ravana and Kumbhakaran. Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, ignorance. These qualities belong to the demonic nature of Sanaprita. In this world, the royal road to hell is described. The demoniac wants to make a show of religion and advancement in spiritual science, although they do not follow the principles. They just want to show that they are religious and they want to demand respect but not command. Okay? And over trifles, they will speak very harshly, angrily, and they'll do things whimsically, not according to the scriptures. So this is what so then one acts like this, then he basically goes into the lower animal species, right? Because animals act like that. Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, so if a human being is acting like that, then better get the animal body. So that's why they glide down. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. And here, Arjuna start thinking what qualities he has. But Krishna says, no, no, do not worry, Arjuna. You are born with divine qualities. Why? Because even before the war, you started thinking, should I kill Brahmana or Drona or not? You were thinking pros and cons. You were not thinking out of, arrogance or pride or conceit. I will show you in Bhagavad Gita how Arjuna thinks. The very first chapter. Oh, gosh. In the very first chapter, it is very clear. This is what Duryodhana is speaking. What he's saying? There are many heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. For my reason, they are come to be killed. This is how Duryodhana is thinking. And this is how Arjuna is thinking. Why should I wish to kill them even though they might otherwise kill me? Why should we see crime in destroying the family? Why should we kill our own kinsmen? So who's thinking better?
Arjuna.
Yeah.
Arjuna.
Uh, yeah. How should I kill my own grandfather and teacher? Drona, he's asking all these questions. How can I do that to my superiors? Whereas Duryodhan, I don't care the superior and all that. Bhishma is my grandfather. He's come here. He will die for me. Just like Ravana was also thinking, right? My son will protect me. He will go and fight for my sake. He lost all his sons, his brothers, their children, his topmost generals. Everyone died. Yes. So this is how demonic people, they are out of arrogance, ignorance. They think like that. They have come to be killed for my reasoning. Whereas the transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, and the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, because Pandu, you are Arjuna, you're born with divine qualities. Okay, we read this. O son of Prita, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is divine, other one is demoniac. I have already explained to you the length, the divine qualities. Now hear from me of the demoniac. So demoniac people, how do they think? So Krishna is going to go into detail of this. So one thing is there, that those who are born of divine qualities follow regulative life. They will follow the scriptures. Whereas those who are not born of divine qualities, they will not follow the scriptures. That is the basic definition. They will do according to their whims, and therefore they are called as demoniac or asuric. Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done, what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them. Give me examples of Ravana, who was a demoniac. For his thing, what is to be done? Did he knew what is to be done? Tell me.
No.
Give me example.
He kidnapped
Kidnapped
mother.
other's wife.
Yeah. He thought that is
Kidnapping
the right
others'
thing.
wife.
That should not be done, should be done. Neither
Should not
cleanliness
be.
nor proper behavior. He was very harsh in his speech, right? He said, Sita, if you don't submit to me, I will kill you and eat you.
Mm.
They are such harsh behavior. And no truth is found in them. He didn't have the courage to face Lord Ram in a fight. He said, I will steal Sita. Right? No courage. And people say he was very brave. If he was brave, then he would have fought, right? Why did he do stealing then? Because he was not brave. Cunning person. So for internal cleaning, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is there. External cleaning, the body is cleaned by bathing, brushing teeth, shaving, etc. Few points here. Rules and regulations. Okay, someone read this. As for the behavior.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. As for behavior, there are many rules and regulations guiding human behavior, such as the Manu Samhita, which is the law of the human race. Even up to today, those who are Hindu follows the Manu Samhita. Law of inheritance and other legalities are derived from this book. Now, in the Manu Samhita, it is clearly stated that a woman should not be given freedom. That does not mean that women are to be kept as slaves, but they are like children. Children are not given freedom, but that does not mean that they are kept as slaves. The demons have now neglected such injunctions and they think that women should be given as much freedom as men. However, this has not improved the social condition of the world. Actually, women should be given protection at every stage of life. She should be given protection by the father in her younger days, by the husband in her youth, and by the grown up sons in her old age. This is proper social behavior according to the Manu Samhita. But modern education has artificially devised a puffed up concept of womanly life, and therefore, marriage is practically now an imagination in human society. The social condition of women is thus not very good now, although those who are married are in better condition than those who are proclaiming their so called freedom. The demons therefore do not accept any instruction which is good for society, and because they do not follow the experience of great sages and the rules and regulations laid down by the sages, the social condition of the demonic people is very miserable. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So you are all women. When you read such things, women should not be given freedom. What do you think? How will you explain this? Or how do you understand this? Do you accept this first point? First point. Do you accept this? We have any Prabhujis in this phone call today?
As long as we are not kept as slaves, we accept it, Prabhuji.
Any Prabhujis in the call today? Okay, we only have Matajis today. Okay, as long as we are not kept as slaves. Yes, that is good. The Prabhupada
That
also
mutual
mentioned.
respect should be there, Prabhuji. It's
Yeah.
not about the freedom. That respect should, if one treats us with respect,
Hmm.
it's almost like having freedom only. It's more than having freedom to do
Yeah,
anything.
true, true. Good point. Good point. Prabhupada also gives this point that it's not actually like slaves. It is like children. Okay. And modern education devised a puffed up concept of womanly life. What do you think?
It's true, Prabhuji. Women are trying to be like super women. They want to manage house. They want to have a very lucrative career. They want to take care of everything. So it becomes actually more and more stressful for a woman, and it artificially induces a sense of pride also that I am able to do so many things.
Okay. So how will you explain a modern girl?
Um,
What do you think you
to
will say?
yeah, perfection will be missed when we are indulged in a lot of things. Like uh, they cannot. They cannot become experts in what they are doing. They will just do for namesake.
If they say I'll try to become expert in what they're doing, then
It is very difficult to manage the household duties as well as the office, the
yeah,
children,
they
the
will say
husband.
They will say, I earn money. I will put the children to daycare.
But somewhere something goes wrong, Prabhuji, in managing all the things together.
No, it can be managed. With the amount of money, it can be managed. Let's say like that.
We are feeling that we are equal to men, Prabhuji. Actually, it's not about one superiority. Women will artificially start feeling that we are superior to men. We can do
Okay,
it. We
okay.
can
So there
manage
are two
without
two things
them.
that we are discussing. One is that they are thinking they're to be equal to man,
Hmm.
right? Equal to husband and all that. The reality, or how from the Vedic perspective, are they equal or they're not equal? How? What is the Vedic injunction? Are they equal or are they not equal?
Vedic thing says that husband should be, a servant of Krishna, and wife should be a servant of husband, according to the Vedic
No, no,
thing.
yeah, that's fine. When we use the word servant and all that, na, it is very, very difficult for modern girls. So
He
point
should
is,
not be
is
given
is a
credit.
wife equal to the husband or not?
Mm. In some respects, Prabhuji, in not all the respects.
Actually,
To some extent.
uh, yeah, when the husband is not there, then the representative is the wife actually. Right?
Hmm.
Even in the Vedic times also it was like that. It is not like today.
Mm.
Even in the Vedic times it was like that. So in reality, the wife is equal to the husband. Okay? In reality, or from the Vedic perspective also, the wife is equal to the husband. And the way it is explained is through the marriage of Shiva and Parvati. There is a very specific form of Shiva and Parvati. Ardha, completed? Ardha?
Ardhanarishwar.
Ardhanarishwara.
Yeah, Ardha Nareshwara. See, this is the concept of equality and submissiveness. So, the wife is actually is to be treated as half of our own of husband's body. So the point is what? Ardha Nareshwar point is what? Ardha Nareshwar means the wife is
Half
almost
man.
half as the husband's body, and the wife's half is also a husband, right? You say, right? The
Hmm.
other half, my half. we
Better
are
half.
one. We are
My better
one.
half.
Yeah,
Better half.
better half. Okay, fine, good. Better half or other half or husband and wife are one. What does this one means? It actually means team. It actually means
Yes. Team.
co-living, cooperating, huh? Togetherness.
Emotionally, they are one.
Yes, emotionally, goal wise, they are one. Okay, but they're still two, and they have to work as a team, cooperating, togetherness, harmoniously. Okay, unison, same idea, same goal. So when we point out this as the married life, then everything starts play, putting in place, and everything starts um, understanding
Falling.
what is done right now. To play in a team, someone has to take a lead, and someone has to take what, a submissive role, right? Every team requires
Hmm.
that, right? And then in various roles, someone is lead, and someone is submissive. Yes or no?
Yes.
Let's put it like that. Let's take, finance decision making. Who is the lead here generally?
Husband.
Husband is the
Husband.
lead. Okay. Cooking. Who is the natural lead here? Wife.
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 Okay. Then the husband is submissive here. So this is the in various role making, the lead and the cooperative position, they change actually
Mm.
in various roles, in various features, in various functions. And Shiva and Parvati are the best example. Ardhanareshwar. So when we put this as the explanation of married life, then everything starts making sense. Okay. It's a team. Everyone is equal, but still one has to take a lead role and one has to take cooperative role in various situations and circumstances, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's a team. There is mutual respect, there is trust. Everything that is required for a team building is required. Modern man, modern woman, they can understand this concept of team. And from that perspective, we can explain why it is said the woman to be submissive. In most of the roles, the husband, the psychology. Again, there is a man and woman psychology, right? My spelling may be wrong, but man and woman psychology is there, right? So it has to be satisfied in married life. Okay. So to satisfy that married life, there are injunctions, there are the instructions that wife should be submissive, because the husband generally is very manly. His psychology is that he wants to take decisions. At that point, the wife should be submitting, should be agreeing. But that doesn't mean that he independently takes. He can consult, right? He can consult his wife like that. So when we place all this, right, even modern women can understand. So the thing is, Prabhupada points out very nice word. He says puffed up concept of womanly life. The thing is not a puffed up concept. What is the concept of Vedic woman life? See, modern woman is puffed up concept. Now, if I tell you what is the Vedic woman attitude, what is the concept?
Is it submissive, Prabhuji?
It's not submissive. It is cooperative.
Cooperative. Okay.
See, submissive, right, is is understood to be cooperative. It's like submissive. Is sometimes people fear with that.
Yes,
So
Prabhuji.
best explanation is cooperative. Hmm? So that's a cooperative concept of woman life. She has to cooperate. And then, what is the goal of marriage? This needs to be understood. From the modern context, what is the goal of modern marriage? What is the modern context of goal of marriage? What is their goal? Can you tell me?
Help each other for attaining Godhead.
No, that is not modern context. That is Vedic context. What is the modern context?
Uh, Eat, marry, enjoy.
Eat, marry, enjoy, earn more money. It's very materialistic, right?
Yes.
Exactly. See, even marriages today, how do they happen?
Online, Prabhuji, they
No,
check the
no,
website
no, no.
sometimes.
How do parents decide?
How much the boy earns or the
Yeah, how
girl
much boy
earns.
and girl earns?
Mhm. And
This is
how
how. This
beautiful
is
they
the
are.
like the biggest. Their earning figures decides marriages.
And good looks also, Prabhuji. These people give
Yeah,
lot of
that's fine,
importance
but
to them.
these are big considerations. Earning figures, and then looks. Definitely looks. Yeah, in the Vedic context,
They should be samskari.
in the Vedic context, when astrological calculations were done, what was it was looking? It was looked for compatibility,
Compatibility.
compatibility of psychic nature, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, some compatibility of psychic nature, karma, and all that. Karma was also seen. Okay, karma was also seen. There's compatibility. So goal of marriage in modern context is just earning and all that. Whereas in from Vedic times it was compatibility. And what was the goal? Peace, peaceful living. Today is not peaceful living. What is it? How much is bank balance? Bank balance living, right? Luxurious living. That is the goal. Getting? So when we put context, right, when we explain it this way, then even modern girl can also understand, however educated she may be, because she understands that it needs compatibility of natures, right? Even man and boy also understands, right? Yes or no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So we should place things first, then any other things, then then we can make them understand. Otherwise it will be a argumentative way, they won't understand. Okay, so when we place the right arguments, the right explanations, then the even modern girl can also understand. They are also seeing so many marriages work and not work and this and that, and they are also seeing such things. So when we place Vedic life was like this, then they will appreciate from the Vedic perspective. And when they take to Krishna consciousness, they will automatically become devotees. And when they become devotees, all this submissive and all this cooperative and everything starts coming in place, falls in place, you know, like that. Okay, so we took some time. Um, so let's stop here. Any questions? Any comments? Any questions or comments?
Prabhuji, in Vedic times, they would check compatibility through the astrological stars, no, Prabhuji. So compatibility is common in both the times.
Both the times means?
I mean, in the Vedic times also, in modern times also.
Yeah. So compatibility is, it looks for astrology. What is looked into astrology is the nature and karma. Okay.
Gunas, no, Prabhuji? They
Yeah,
call something
gunas and
called
all
guna.
that. Yeah, they're all in karma and all that. Yes, and then the compatibility of um, what is it called? Um,
They see, no, Prabhuji, like Manav guna, Daiva guna,
that is all
something.
in astrology. That's fine. There are other compatibilities also to be looked at. Family culture.
Okay.
Family culture was also looked at. Um, then family values was also looked at. What are the family values? What is the
Correct,
family
Prabhuji.
culture and all that, and how the child was brought up. Okay, all these considerations are done. So it was not just compatibility of astrology, it was compatibility of various other things. So therefore, previously they were looking within their own caste. Why? Because the culture, the values, and the brought up, how the child was brought up was very, very similar, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So only astrology was looked at, because other things were matching very easily.
Yes.
Only astrology was looked at then. But in today's time, we have to look all 4 or 5 things, and then do compatibility. Today also we look at all these things.
These days, mostly marriages are. I mean, they only choose their partners, no, Prabhuji.
Yeah, that's
Most of
fine.
the
Then we
people.
should tell them that it's a compatibility of many other things, not just see. Even if they choose right, there is some karma to it also.
Yes.
We need to understand that when a boy and woman, a girl gets attracted and all that, there is a karma to it also.
Yes,
But they have to look at other things also, culture, values, and all that brought up and all that. And they should also look at astrology also, if they believe in it all. It helps.
yes.
But
Thank you.
this so-called love marriages, they should look into cultures and values also, because what has happened is they may do love marriage, but the culture in the family is very different, and then values are very different, and that becomes the conflicting points. This is what is seen. So-called love marriages breaking up because the culture was not seen. So they have to give a thought on the culture also. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, yes.
And astrologically also they have to see, because sometimes the karmas are very difficult. It can cause the death of other person, um,
Hmm.
and some astrological um, bad luck is there, then some puja has to be done, some nirvana has to be done. So it's, yeah, so all that has to be seen. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, so let's stop here, and